Greetings, friends. Gemini Brett here with the 9th video in this Stellarium planetarium software for astrologers instructional video series, the 2023 edition. Today we are going to explore this search window menu that's over on the left menu bar. So you can see when I hover above it that in brackets F3 is called out as the keyboard shortcut. So I can push this on and off to turn it on and off, or I can hit F3. As with most of these more advanced Stellarium menus, there are many sub-menus that we find across the top. Let's start with this one on the left. And, well, there's a couple options, right? I can click on the moon. I just double clicked it and it's showing me where the moon is right now. Now, it happens to be beneath the ground. You'll remember down here, I can click this key to take the ground away. I can also click the keyboard shortcut G. And so there we see the moon. It's centered in on the moon as soon as I elected to search for it. So I can use my trackpad here on my Mac laptop to scroll in and see the moon and the moon phase. And I'm not going to see much because the moon is currently new, having just this AM hours conjoined the sun, the tropical sign of Pisces. Happy new moon to you. Let's put the ground beneath our feet once again and open up the search menu. And I have Neptune here as well. Well, how could I have something else? Let's say we want to search for the star Sirius. I just start typing in Sirius there, and you'll see it came in, and I can double click on Sirius now. And looks like Sirius is also beneath the ground, having recently set in the southwest. So maybe I'll pick something that's above the ground, like we can see Spica here. Of course, I can just select Spica when I see the star on my screen. And if you'll remember, spacebar centers on an object like that. But let's search for something else. So I'm going to go back over to the search window. How about, I wonder if I can search for a constellation. I'm going to try Scorpius. Yeah. All right, and then it centers in on the Scorpion constellation. I'm going to hit C for constellations. Just zoom in. You can see that the Scorpion constellation is now here in the center of the screen. Okay, so I think you get the point. By the way, interestingly, as it is with most Mac softwares, and I imagine on PC, you also use your just kind of universal search function. Maybe that's Control F on Macs. It's Command F opens up. Typically, like if I want to search a Words document, for example, for a certain word, right? Control F, and that will open that up. By the way, I'm noticing that when I come in here, these squares, like for nebula, are highlighted. We talked about that in, I don't know, maybe our last video. That's this deep sky objects backgrounds images. I want to turn that off. And I actually want to put the ground back beneath my feet. And then I want to save. Remember, configuration window, main, save settings. Because I'd rather those be off when I come in personally. All right, so back to the search window here. Greek letters for Bayer designations. Let's see what happens if I click theta. I get to see all the theta stars. How about alpha? Okay, so alpha, oh, that was theta alpha. Let me delete those. Let's just click alpha. Alpha tends to be the brightest star of a constellation. It's not always, interestingly, the brightest, but tends to be. So when I see like Alpha Aquila here, that's going to be the bright star Altair, right? So that's kind of cool as well. I've never seen that or noticed that before. All right, search window. Remember, when I was just clicked on Altair, I can right click to select nothing. Okay, so let's go across the top menus here. Simbad. Maximum search radius, 30 arc seconds. All IDs types. You know, this one's just a little bit beyond my pay grade, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure what that's about. Query Simbad about selected object. Well, let's click on Altair and then query Simbad about selected object. And we get a bunch of information here, which is honestly just a little bit beyond my scope and current level of understanding. But for the astronomers who aren't watching this video anyway, I'm sure you can get a lot from that. Spectral class. What about taking away all IDs and just querying for spectral class? At coordinates J2000, these coordinates, object, I guess ALF would be Alpha Aquila. Delta Scout variable, that's telling me I think that it's a variable star and some other stuff. It is currently 4.42 arc seconds distant from my query. My guess is that, well, J2000 is actually a certain time. That was January 1st of the year 2000 at like 12 p.m. Universal Time. And it's a time that astronomers use. It's kind of like a fixed time in the current era. So maybe it's telling me that Altair has moved 4.42 arc seconds from that time. Yeah, there's a fun way where we could test that. Let's bring in the date and time menu here, and let's just go to the year 2000 and January 1st. Okay, and let's search for Aquila again. I think I searched for a different one. Oops, I want command F. Alpha Aquila. Okay, Altair. Oh, at that time, Altair was beneath the ground. Just bring it up. All right, now let's go back into that search window and talk to Simbad and query. Yeah, at that time, 19.27 arc seconds. So that definitely changed with date. I don't know. I'm going back to right now. That's the 8 key when I'm clicked anywhere into Stellarium. And moving on. I don't need to take time trying to explain something I don't understand. Let's click on Deneb here. Looks like that didn't actually change anything here. Okay, I have to actually search for something. So let me go into my search and I'll type Deneb. Now I'm centered on Deneb and then back into the search window. You can see that when I search for something, it takes the search window away. So I have to reopen it. Position. You know what? I think this is not going to list the right ascension and declination of Deneb in this case. This is instead a way that I can search for a particular zone, right? Like I can, here's 20 hours of right ascension, and then I can click on 15 declination, return. Okay, and now the crosshairs here are centered in on a place in the sky that's at those coordinates. Maybe I can search by, this is just, I can change right ascension or declination. Oh, sorry, up in the upper right, I'm seeing equatorial. Let's change that to ecliptic. So this is fun because remember, ecliptic coordinates, which are celestial longitude and latitude, are measured along or around the ecliptic and north and south of the ecliptic. So I could type here if I want to see what's currently at, I don't know, the first degree of tropical Gemini. I can look for 60 degrees longitude and 0 degrees latitude and hit return. And that's the 0 degrees of tropical Gemini, 60 degrees from 0 Aries, celestial longitude, on the ecliptic plane. So that's actually super convenient. Actually, that's pretty fun. Okay, lists. Oh, I guess before I leave there, let's just see in position that I could actually search for positions in all of these different coordinate systems. Okay, lists. And you can see here at the top, there's another drop-down menu. So asterisms like the Big Dipper. But I want to know what the butterfly is. That's fun. I'm going to have to be able to show my asterism lines. And if you remember in our last video, I chose not to have that as a menu option. So I don't know what the butterfly is. We'll play with that another time. Back to search window. Oh, the Egyptian cross. Yeah, I feel like these would be fun to learn, but I don't know them. So this is a way I could do that, right? I can switch in this top drop down from asterisms. We could go to asteroids and look at all these different asteroids that Stellarium has in the system. Let's go to Juno. It's an asteroid that's often used by astrologers. Probably gonna have to zoom way in to find Juno because it's a very small astronomical body. Okay. And many astrologers who play with the asteroids would prefer to have a much longer list. I think there is a way where you can add more asteroids to the list, so maybe we'll find our way there in Stellarium for astrologers instructional video series eventually, but for now let's just end with love. Let's click on the asteroid Eros. And you know, that's fun. I can currently see that here asteroid 443 or Eros is hanging out in the Archer constellation. That's somewhere in tropical Capricorn. In fact, I can see the current longitude of Eros there, 66 degrees. That's interesting because that's actually in Gemini. Oh, this is not Eros, right? This is a double star. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm going to go back to my search window and click on Eros. No, let's try that again. Let me change. I went to another one and then I'm going to go back to Eros. So maybe we have to zoom in and then actually click that. Okay, as I did, then you saw that the information in the upper left here updated. And now I can see that the ecliptic longitude is 282. All right, well, 270 degrees from 0 Aries is 90 plus 90 plus 90. It's Cancer plus Libra plus Capricorn. Okay, so 270 is 0 Capricorn. 282 is 12 degrees, 12 minutes Capricorn. So Eros is currently at 12:12 Capricorn, right? Fun facts. And also it's south of the ecliptic plane. I can tell because the ecliptic, which we will soon put on the screen in our next instructional video, runs right through here, just close to Caus Borealis, the star. And so we see that the latitude is minus 633, in other words, 6.5 degrees south of the ecliptic at 12 degrees and 12 minutes of tropical Capricorn. Great, back to the search window. So we have asteroids, and once I'm in asteroids, I can search in that list. Like maybe I'm working with the asteroid Themis. Oh, they don't have it on the list. What if I'm working with the asteroid Osiris? Not on the list. How about Pallas? Oh, that happens, by the way. You saw what just went down, right? That's just a bunch of keyboard shortcuts like L, move time, A. You know, sometimes as I'm typing, it will just do keyboard shortcuts instead of typing here. So that only happens for me on this laptop and not on my desktop. I don't know if you've had that experience yet, but I just have to make sure I'm like clicked into the place with the blinking cursor there. And now I can type Pallas. You see it appeared on the screen, so I'll just double click there. And here's Pallas. Let's zoom in on Pallas. I'll click Pallas here, and we see Pallas at this time, February 20th, 2023, with an ecliptic longitude of 101. That's 90 plus 11. That's 11 degrees and 47 minutes. Tropical Cancer. Let's see that here. Oh my gosh, that's bright. Yeah, it's some asteroids here in Astro Gold software. It's like too bright to read. Sorry, then I should have given you warning. One of these should say asteroids. Oh, I'm used to a different device here. I'll just go to displayed. Let's add Pallas. There we go. Pallas at 10.5 Cancer. I mean, interestingly, this one showed 1146 Cancer for February 20th. So they're either working with a different ephemeris. I mean, that's not going to be a topocentric situation. What? I'm intrigued by that. That's like just a disagreement in the ephemeris or listing of position from Astro Gold for February 20th, 2023, and Stellarium Planetarium software at that time for Pallas. Let's confirm that other things are the same. Let's look at Mars here at 16 Gemini. That's 76 degrees of celestial longitude. So I'll go to search window, change this to planets, I guess. Look at all these different options here, and I'll let you play. Like, that's fun. We can go search for comets. And we go down to planets, or I could just click an object and type in Mars. Return. There's Mars, and Mars currently has a longitude of 7558, 1558. It's off by 2 arc minutes, but this is 6:20 a.m. and this is not. I mean, maybe it was Pallas Athena moved that far in that amount of time, but there's no way because Pallas Athena does not have velocity that would change that much. So here we see Mars at this time, 7556. That's 1556 Gemini. I'm going to try for Pallas one more time, 1031 Cancer. So let's go search window. I mean, you can see how convenient this thing is, right? And Pallas. And I have to zoom in. It's weird. When I search for Mars, it just instantly selects Mars, but that's not true for the asteroids we saw. Oh, look, note, orbital elements outdated. Consider updating. Interesting, right? So the ephemeris has been updated for the positions of Pallas, and that's likely what has Pallas different here at 10146, which is 1146 Cancer, than here at 1031. So we're going to want to stay updated in our asteroid position. Sometime along the way here in Stellarium, we're going to learn how to do that. All right, well, let's finish up here with the search window. So we've seen something Simbad I don't understand, position that we can search for coordinates lists. So we can like look at the different comets. You know, the Comet Enki somewhere out there in space, and yet nothing's there. Back to the search window, and you can just see there's all of these different options. I thought I saw along the way Berry centers? No. I wish. Bright quasars, Caldwell catalog, constellations. You know, that's fun if you're learning your way around the constellations. Where is Crater right now? Which is the Holy Grail near the Crow, and it's currently actually just setting here in the southwest. Okay. Finally, on the far right here, we have options. Use Simbad. Okay. So, Simbad, I could go Google search and figure out what that is probably, but I'm not going to. But it looks like I can change servers between University of Strasbourg in France and Harvard. All right. Max items to display. Obviously, that's like if I search for lists like this, it's going to display 20 maximum. Oh, that seems to be more than 20. I don't know. I guess, can, oh, that's recent searches, right? So object here, these are these recent searches we've made. So here I can hit that trash can and I'm sure that clears the list. Now we have none. Okay. I think that's enough for today. Well, lock position when coordinates are used. Yeah, I guess that's if we search position, it locks that in somehow. Show FOV center marker when position is search. Okay, that's kind of computer grammar, isn't it? Yeah, we saw that when we just searched for a particular like latitude and longitude, for example. See how you get that? I guess that would be the FOV field of view center marker when position is search. So position is search when I'm there, and suddenly that center marker comes in. Okay. Well, there you go, the search window. In our next video, we're going to get here to sky and viewing options window. Actually, the last menu for us to go through. Now we're going to go back here to astronomical calculations window. We're going to go back to the help window, which is one of the easy ways to get to edit keyboard shortcuts. That's going to take us into pretty advanced territory. But I want to say also that I'm seeing there this configuration. No, we also need to find this place. Oh, here's one, check updates. So I'm in help menu about. I don't know if that's just check updates for Stellarium in general. That seems to be what's going on. Somewhere, as we saw, we need to update our coordinates for Pallas, the asteroid Pallas Athene. So it'll be interesting to stumble our way into how we do that, or maybe we'll have to search and figure it out. Enough for today. See you in the next video where we get into the sky and viewing options menu. That'll be a long one. All right, so take a break. See you there. Buttons, buttons, buttons.